And if I do still have problems, I talk about them with the people I trust.
Good thing I don't have any problems then. I'd move on. And probably forget about you. I'm scared I'll be bored to tears.
Hey, you alright?
I'm great.
I think we can all agree that Jax is a mean jerk. I mean, how could you not think otherwise? He shot Pomni from a moving truck, used Zubo's arm to scratch himself, threw Ragada in the deep fryer, shot Gangle as a rhino, and probably a countless list of things that we never saw.
When you set me on fire, mailed me a pipe bomb, threw me into an active volcano, I could go on.
And when Pomni asks why, he simply answers that
It's 'cause it's funny. I do everything 'cause it's funny. 'Cause I'm the funny one.
But we know that most of what he said wasn't true.
You're not the funny one!
The fight between the two forcefully shattered his character, exposing that, all this time, his mean archetype was nothing but a mask. But what was there to hide in the first place? Was it just his feelings? Or is there something else? Why does Jax conceal his emotions by messing with others? And if he genuinely wants to see his friends suffer, why did he stop? This could be the very secret he wants to hide, his past. From what we've seen throughout the series, it seems that Jax wants to prevent who he was from who he's becoming. But up to this point, we don't really know what actually happened. Some might say that Jax might have crashed into someone, ran into an office and found the VR headset, but we still don't know whether any of that is true, as we don't have enough evidence to work with. Because honestly, every episode that we've seen so far barely gave away clues. They might foreshadow an important point later on, but we can only understand it once we get there. Whatever his mistake or trauma might be, I think Jack's reason for covering his emotion is to cover up his past. If what he feels reveals his true self, he'll carve it into something that is not. And you can see this throughout most major episodes. Every time he feels sadness, he turns it into anger. Every time he feels discomfort, he turns it into humor. Jax will either change what he feels or he will brush them away, and once you see the pattern, you'll realize you can't unsee it. So to truly conceal his past, Jax needs to reinvent himself. Someone that is assertive, tough, with no sign of vulnerability. Someone that can control their wounds so that things will stay unserious. Someone that never gets attached to any real emotions. And that's exactly why Jax becomes the bully, the mean jerk of the group. He sees every adventures, learns the chaos that Kane causes, then twists it to his own advantage. Whenever there's madness, everyone panics, except him. Why? Because chaos works on his side. It buys him time from serious conversations. In most of his usual pranks, Zubo would get angry, Gangle would cry, and Ragada would scold him for hours. By that time, Jack's plan has already worked. His past will never be mentioned, and no one will ever know. But was his plan as flawless as his acting skills? No. Jax is either ignorant or doesn't know that emotion can't be suppressed. Up to this point, we've seen two of Jack's outbursts already. One when he was fighting with Pomni, and one at the end of episode 7.
He's gonna pop out and say,
Congratulations, my little cattywampus cucumbers!
Each has their own causes, but they both have the same catalyst. All of them were driven by his bottled-up emotions. The fight wasn't caused by Jack's usual bullying, but it happened because of his long-suppressed feelings. He wants to relive his days with his friends, but he can't. On the other hand, his button press wasn't an accident, even if he tried to convince otherwise. It's way more likely that his action was driven by his own stress, which is caused by his long-performed archetype, the funny one. Jax learned the hard way that the more he suppresses emotions, the less control he will have. And his problem with emotions might also be the reason why Jax no longer bullies anyone. After countless times of teasing everyone, he finally shows guilt. He's never guilty of teasing his friends. That's just what he does. But being close with Pomni, however, opened his old wounds. He tried to undo everything, but it was all too late. Which makes me kind of wonder, will he ever actually recover? Will he ever fight his fear and face his past? How often do you force yourself to be fine, knowing well that you don't? What's the big deal of concealing your sadness, anger, fear, guilt, loneliness? Why does any of that matter? Well, because you matter. I'm not the first and won't be the last to tell you this, but you matter as a person, and so do your emotions. Your emotions matter because they tell you what matters. They show you what you should be aware of, whether it's yourself or others. It's one of life's greatest gifts to feel what someone else feels, or perhaps even greater, to be truly understood of what you're feeling. Maybe you're concerned of preparing your future. That's why you're anxious. Maybe your friend had a loss. That's why they're depressed. Your feelings remind you of the things that matter. Things that you have yet to address. In Jack's case, he either doesn't get this or he's ignoring it. His feelings are screaming at him to deal with his past, to reach out to his current friends. Yet he silences them off and keeps cold to everyone. Maybe that's why he feels empty inside, not knowing what to do and just waiting for himself to abstract. He can't even be the funny one anymore because he loses all sense of purpose. But Pomni is his complete opposite. She finds her sense of purpose by allowing her soul to feel grief, fear, love, anger. Embracing emotions is what makes her deeply connect with everyone. It's also her way of reaching Jax because deep down, she knows that he matters. Behind every lie, every action, Pomni senses the pain along with his true emotions.
You're not gonna look me in the eye and tell me nothing we've been doing together meant anything to you, because I know that's not true.
So if emotions are something that matters, what should you do? I'm not saying you should follow whatever your heart wants or just be overly emotional. What I'm saying is that you should value them for what they are. Emotions help you communicate, both to yourself and to others. So to value your emotions better means to get better at listening and expressing yourself. Whatever positive or negative emotions you're currently feeling, all of them deserve to be acknowledged. But how? Let's start with the most obvious, which is to share your emotions. Emotions are the tool to connect with others, and the simplest way to process them is to share to someone you trust. I cannot tell you who that is, but you should start from who you're close to. Spend more time with them. Open up about what you're going through. Now, I know that this is easier said than done, especially if you're having a hard time with not many friends around. After all, Jax also struggles to trust anyone. But taking that chance to reach someone out, even for just a moment, could open up a door for you to at least feel a little bit better. And who knows, maybe your friend also needs someone to talk to, and both of you could end up helping each other. Another great outlet is art. I'm not talking about masterpiece to post online, get likes and repost. I'm talking about ways of expressing what's built up inside. You don't even have to share it. You can just keep that to yourself. Not saying that you shouldn't, but if you do share it, you should be mindful of who you're sharing it with. What you have created could come from a vulnerable place. You can draw in a sketchbook and not show anyone. You can sing loudly in your room or play songs on an instrument. The point of all this is to release your emotions from piling up. You don't need to prove anything to anyone or make something relatable that gives you attention. It's about respecting your feelings in the most creative way. But if you're not feeling artistic, try writing a journal. Again, not a perfect aesthetic journal, but a messy one. It doesn't have to be good. It's not your English assignment anyway. But what it needs to be is that it has to be real. It needs to be practical, expressive, and true to what you're feeling. Stop worrying, start writing. Start scribbling whatever you feel like at the moment. You're not gonna show it to anyone but yourself. So why hold back? Emotions are the things in life that have to be addressed. They can be concealed, but eventually have to be processed. The willingness to embrace our deepest feelings is a choice, a decision that each of us have to make. It changes the way you see your problems, your past that you might not even be proud of, or even heal you in ways you'd never imagine. So find a quiet time to sit with what you feel, whether it's anger, sadness, fear, let it all out. Whether you pour a part of yourself into your journal, your art, or perhaps sharing it to your friend, getting it out will change how you live tomorrow. If this video could reach one person to do that, then I'll be grateful. I'll be truly glad that despite everything, you chose to be brave. You chose to value yourself by embracing your feelings. If you're going through a hard time right now, I'm praying that things will get better. I'm hoping that from your experiences, you'll become a stronger person. Strong enough to face what's ahead and brave enough to share what you've learned. Your feelings are noises to be silenced. They're the signal that makes you human. Emotions are meant to be felt, to be experienced and shared. Because in each of our purpose, emotions are the very thing that gives our lives meaning.